It's insane how things can be right in front of us and we just like it goes over our head because it's the Lord that shows us these things. I have to hurry because I have a snowstorm coming and I have to go get some things for my family. But listen, so we just finished Thanksgiving, right? This is my first year celebrating Hanukkah. I'm so excited. Like, I literally have Hanukkah stuff all over my house. My menorah came, like, I woke up this morning and I was like, yes, like, it's the next holiday is Hanukkah. Hear me out, okay? I'm like, I've been thinking the last couple months, like, why in the world does modern day Christianity try to like separate themselves from the Jewish community and like their beliefs? Because it's literally, we have the full picture, but it like involves the Jewish traditions, right? Listen to me, okay? So Christians celebrate the birth of Jesus on December 25th. A lot of us have already been like, that's kind of weird, and like, was he really born then? Did you know that the temple was, what was the word? It was desecrated on December 25th. Coincidence? I think not. But also, do you know the story about Hanukkah? Okay, so like, I was just telling someone this. Here is the menorah, right? The menorah in the temple is 7 branches, right? Like the 7 spirits of the Lord, 7 branches, all those things, right? But this one has 9. I'm just learning. I could be wrong, okay? So like, don't quote me, but I think that this is how it works, okay? So this candle is used to light these ones, right? So this one's are always lit. There was enough oil for one day. That's it. But it lasted 8 days, right? So here's 4 and then 4. So there's 4 candles, but literally it was oil back then. So kind of like, and again, I think I've heard different things from different people and it gets kind of confusing because some people use candles and then they like blow it out and they don't have it burning the whole time. But to what I understand, this one was always burning, okay? And then they would use this flame and light this and then this, you know, like they would keep going. So just like think of the bronze altar of sacrifice and where they made the bread, right? That was to always be burning, just like the menorah. So they would use like strange fire, right? Strange fire means it doesn't come from the Lord. So the fire or the flames or the coals always came from the temple, right? Like it was always supposed to be burning. It was always the flame of God, right? But the miracle is that they had oil last for 8 days, not just one day. Also, I think so. This is where I had a hard time finding specifics about this, but there's a very specific way to get the oil. I know that. And I heard or I think that it took 7 days to make so it could be like used in the temple. Because you might think like, well, why wouldn't they just like go get oil if they only had enough oil for one day? That's why, because they had to go make sure that it was like up to the standards to use in the Lord's temple. That's why it's a miracle. That's why it's so amazing. Like God allowed that oil for one day to last 7 more days. 7, right? Like we hear 7 all the time. But also, hold on. I don't know why like we haven't put this together. The 10 virgins, right? Only 5 had enough oil. God made the oil last longer. And I'm gonna be really truthful and I'm like so sorry if I like hurt anyone, but like this is why I feel so strongly about like why there's such a disconnect, because like I was taught that like Hanukkah is like just something that the Jews made up, which is just horrible, like a horrible thing to say in the first place. Jesus was a Jew, like those were his people. He was grieved like of what happened. The whole world is attacking the Jewish people, and like it truly it hurts my heart so much. And look, like we picked the day to have Christmas on the day that our temple was desecrated. But like look at how much stuff makes sense. The 10 virgins, right? But also like who, I'm paraphrasing horribly. And I'll do a video where like I actually have the scriptures, but like you know how like who hides a light under a bushel or a bush or something, kind of reminds me of like Moses and the burning bush. But like there's so much, just sit there and think, there's so much about like us being the light of the world. And oh my gosh, I said this like for a while now, okay? So like the law and things like that, right? That section of the Bible had a lot to do with water, right? Like Noah, things like that. Then when we transfer over to like the prophets, it's a lot about fire. I think when we get to the Lord coming back for his church, it's gonna have to do with something with fire and oil. And if someone could help me, I kind of like blew it off because it was really hard to find information on this. But there's a second Rosh Hashanah. I made a video on this a while back, like 2 weeks or something. But I just like happened to find it. I can't tell you exactly what it was. Like every time I would try to research it, it would take me to the Rosh Hashanah, like the normal one. But if you go on the Hebrew calendar, it's something about like a rabbi. I don't know. I don't want to mess it up. But I'm telling you, like the Lord has been showing me so many different things, and I continue to say like he's trying to show me that there's a difference between like the water and the fire. And I didn't understand. And if I'm correct, I don't know. Shoot, let me look. No way. It's right. Okay, hold on. Let me just double check. Because what? You're kidding me. I'm telling you, the Lord is so good. Hold on. I need to get a better picture. Oh, that's a horrible picture. Hold on. You guys. Okay, it is. So the laver is outside of the temple, right? Like in the outer courts. Yeah, outer courtyard. And then the altar, the bronze altar where they do the sacrifice is out there too. Why is that a big deal? Because, okay, so the laver and the water, right? I did a video on this. There's so much to go with it, right? You know how they pierced the Lord's side and how blood and water came out? So when the priest, before they entered the temple, right, they would wash their hands in the water. So the water obviously had blood mixed. That ties to so many different things, right? But then we have the altar out too, which is fire. Okay, but listen. So this is like the awesome part. The laver is called the truth. Then the burnt offering altar is called the way. And then the life is inside, like where the menorah is, the showbread, the Holy of Holies. You guys, it's literally how it's set up. I think that's what, I don't want to say like that's exactly what he's showing me, but there's no way that's coincidence. Like if you have been watching my videos, there has been so much that ties to the tabernacle in the temple. So much, like everything. Literally, I gotta hurry up. I have to go get my kids. We're literally almost out of like stuff for breakfast. I have to go. I'll be back. Pray on this. This is so exciting, you guys. Hanukkah is almost here. Just the way that he's been showing me things and like how I get to actually, so if you go way back to Elul, right? I had no idea what Elul was. The Lord showed me that it was when the king was in the field, and like just explained it to me, and how that's when Moses went up and he received the vows, and that's when the Lord showed me how the 10 Commandments are like vows, they're not rules. I'll be back. I gotta go.